one of Marvel's best writers is coming back to direct and work on a new Nova project for Marvel Studios. And honestly, this is like some of the best news we have gotten all year. Nova is one of Marvel's best IPs and characters that they haven't touched. And we are about to discuss who it is and what more is to come in this video. It's crazy to say, but one of Marvel's untouched characters is Nova, Richard Rider. And we have an update from Michael Waldron, who directed Loki, Chad Powers with Glenn Powell, as well as worked on the early drafts of Avengers King Dynasty before it got scrapped, as well as Avengers Doomsday that's coming out later this year. According to the WGA, the Writers Guild, was found that under Michael Waldron's bio, he is helmed to work and write the new Nova project. Earlier last year, around in February, the trades reported that a Nova project was in development at Marvel Studios. Over a year later, we have a new update that yes, that project is indeed moving forward, and one of Marvel's best writers that they have is working on that project. Originally, Nova was supposed to be a part of the Avengers Infinity War, and according to some of the writers on that movie, they said they had to cut out the whole Nova aspect for time constraints. And what they did was, instead of Richard Rider coming down to Earth and warning the Avengers of Thanos, they switched it in which Doctor Strange and Hulk had that interaction at the Squadron Supreme, and Hulk warned Doctor Strange of Thanos. So you guys do not know about the Nova or the Nova Corps. It's one of Marvel's best issues in the comics is the Nova family. And it features Richard Rider and also features Sam Alexander. So, in the events of Infinity War, before it all, Thanos went to Xandar. Xandar is where the Nova Corps and the Nova is home planet, in which Thanos took the Power Stone, the purple Power Stone, that the Nova Corps, their whole goal was to be a safeguard and to protect that stone. Thanos merely wiped out all the Xandarians as well as the whole Nova Corps and left that place in destruction. And he took the Power Stone, in which we know from Avengers Infinity War as well as the Avengers Endgame, that Power Stone has a big impact for the movie. And it was kind of a shame how, in passing, they acknowledged that, yes, that's how Thanos retrieved the Power Stone. But it was kind of a shame that we never got that payoff of Nova being actually in the movie, or just seeing about the destruction and the massacre of Xandar. The Marvel writers said because of a time constraint, they couldn't have done the Richard Rider coming to be in the Avengers, warning them about Thanos is coming. But years later, we could begin a television show in which shows us about what happened prior to Thanos taking that Power Stone and merely wiping out all of Xandar. We get to see Richard Rider, to see where he's been post when Thanos took the Power Stone, to see whereabouts is he. And honestly, I'm excited. It's one of Marvel has a very few left of untouched properties and characters that they haven't acknowledged or haven't done anything with in the live action MCU movies. We got some stuff that we haven't seen in the live action stuff in the animated shows, like What If. But besides the whole X-Men that they're currently doing auditions and casting for the reboot, the Nova comics is one of my personal favorites, and Richard Rider is amazing. I loved him as Nova. I liked him more than Sam Alexander's version of Nova. But it's like having a television series from the writers of Loki, which Loki is by far one of, if not the best, Marvel's television shows of all time. I like it better than Daredevil Born Again. I wouldn't say... Actually, yeah, I like it better than all of Daredevil, even the Netflix version and the Daredevil Born Again for Disney+. Loki, they took something so unique from the Tesseract and from Avengers Infinity War Endgame, where Loki gets it and then he leaves when they went back into the time travel. And they took that, made it into his own thing with the TVA, and now Loki's a big impact of what's going to be happening in Avengers Doomsday, and as well as Avengers Secret Wars. So getting a character like Richard Rider, seeing about how he grew up, how the whole Xandar was living their ways of life before eventually Thanos coming out, destroying everything in Xandar, all the Xandarians, clearing out the whole Nova Corps, and Richard Rider losing everything. It's going to be quite interesting to see that all in the format of a television show on a weekly basis, because that's gold. Having that access to that time of things we have missed, and fast forward into Avengers Doomsday. I'm not saying Richard Rider will be in a lot of these MCU team-ups. Maybe it would be a one-off, like kind of how Wonder Man is in his own little niche part of the universe. But I could see a way where the television show gets so good that Marvel could make this into a Nova movie. Have Nova interact with the Guardians, who we haven't seen any of the Guardians since the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 4. And possibly end up seeing Richard Rider post Secret Wars or even in Secret Wars. But this is a plus that Michael Waldron is coming back. And Michael Waldron, who did Chad Powers, teased, I want to say a couple months ago, that his pick for Nova would be Glenn Powell. And honestly, couldn't find a better actor to helm the role of Richard Rider. So what are your thoughts? Are you excited about a Nova project for Marvel Studios? Are you excited about Michael Waldron being the one writing it? Please give me a like down below. Subscribe to me at Zazy Reviews right here on YouTube, on Instagram at Zazy Reviews, on TikTok at Zazy Reviews, and on X at Zazy Reviews. I'll be doing videos every Monday through Friday on the channel. And tomorrow I have a video coming up talking about Moana live action box office projections that are kind of underperforming, and the whole talk about why these Disney live action movies are not doing so great. And I'm going to have some updates and some news about what to look forward to this weekend, and any tidbits and rumors that come out later today or sometime tomorrow will be up into the video. I'll see you guys in the next review.